Lady Danny here, and now that I've announced the walnut crack, how do you prepare? Well, the first thing you need to do is to remove the hulls from your black walnuts. When the hulls are green and start to split, they're much easier to remove, but they can be messier as the stain within is still very wet and can be a messy proposition. When the hulls are dry, there's less mess and staining, but they do adhere to the shell of the nut more vigorously. So you'll have to work harder to free the nut from the hull. There are a variety of methods used. I've even heard of some people throwing them in a bag and then running over them with the car. But for me, it was just as easy to pick up a hammer and tap each one until I was able to free the nut from the hull. This did take some time, and because the hulls shatter, it was better to do it outdoors. And after about an hour of hard work, I had the first bag done. But wait, there's more! So eventually I finished both bags. If these had been green, I would have done the float test, in which you place them in water and any nuts that float to the top you discard, because that usually means something has already bored into it or the nut is bad. But because we've had no rain and these have been drying out in the sun, virtually everything was floating. So at this point, the best you can do is wash them all and hope for the best when you come to crack them open. And now I'm giving everything a vigorous wash. As I mentioned, when the nuts are drier, the interior of the hull adheres to the nut more. That coating can add an extra thick layer to the nut, making it difficult to fit in the aperture of the nutcracker. So you really want to get it as clean as possible, whether that's scrubbing or going at it with a knife to remove the excess. This is also a great time to make sure there are no breaches in the shell. I did find several that had holes in the top, so those were discarded. And after a good scrub and a good rinse, it's time to dry them. Since I won't need these for 2 weeks, I will give them 24 hours in my dehydrator, followed by allowing them to air dry on the drying rack. You can also air dry these in a room that's warm with sufficient airflow. These nuts will dry fully over the next 2 weeks, providing us with perfect nuts. So for those of you that don't have nuts but would like the experience of cracking them and tasting them, we'll have something available for you. So if you still have black walnuts, I hope this will help you process them more easily. And if you've missed your opportunity, I hope you'll remember how to do this for next year. Either way, I hope to see you on Saturday, December 7th at Bartram's Garden when we have our community crack. Cheers!